Growing up, I only saw my father on the weekends. He was an engineer and he traveled the country. So I look forward to those weekends knowing that my dad would be home and we would always go skating every Saturday morning. My father taught me how to skate at 5 years old. I started teaching my sons when they were 3. It was our tradition. My dad was a college grad. I saw him more than the weekends. I probably would have been too. But because of that, it made me work even harder. At 4 years old, my sons were already enrolled in private school. By 5 years old, we were taking walks on campuses, so it would be embedded in them. As a dad, you always want better for your children, to the point where the boys just knew that came after high school. Now I no longer have my boys. They don't have the same advantages as they had before. I built a legacy and an empire for my sons, so I didn't have to be a weekend dad. I fought so hard to give my sons. The courts are now taken away.
This next story involves a family you may have seen before. A Maryland father and his 2 boys, his twin boys, known as the Hurt Twins. They're known to thousands of people for their viral videos.
But a recent court order claims those children have been exploited. And as a result, the boys' time with their father is now limited to 1 day a week in a supervised location.
Our Larry Miller spoke with the dad who says the allegations against him are far from the truth. Here's tonight's special report, Fighting for the Hurt Twins.
We're about to take over the internet.
I'm not only a father, I'm a dad. I'm nurturing. I love my sons, and I just want the best for them.
Emotions run deep for Jerron Hurt Sr., the father of twin boys known to a legion of online followers as the Hurt Twins. Some of the videos that remain online have thousands of views. Because the twins are minors, we have decided to blur their faces.
Can I drink some of this?
Yes, you may.
Hurt is fighting to get full custody of the twins after a judge said the boys were being exploited by their dad. His visitation was limited to 1 day a week in a supervised location. After a hearing earlier this year, Judge Nancy Purpura awarded the twins' mother, April Johnson, full custody of the boys. In her opinion, Judge Purpura wrote Hurt's judgment was alarmingly poor and is fraught with exploitation which is not in their best interest and presents a danger to their safety.
The image that I was forming within my head of what the judge must look like, I mean, this is to a T. But feminist jokes aside, I think that it is sad and abundantly odd that this father had custody removed completely and is now relegated to supervised visits from having a YouTube channel with the boys. Now, I don't agree with parents utilizing children as the main source of content. I would never do that. If I have kids, they might pop up in a video from here and there, but they won't be the main stars of the content. I want to keep them as far away from social media as possible, as long as possible. The court finds that the father's judgment regarding the children is alarmingly poor. In addition, his decision-making is so impaired that he is incapable of making decisions that are in the best interest of the children in matters of major significance or day-to-day decisions while the children are in his care. Holy run-on sentence. This was done by a judge? Father steadfastly maintains that his exploitation of his children is in their best interest and does not harm or endanger them in any way. Should he actually believe this, father would be completely out of touch with the reality of life in today's world. The court is persuaded, however, that the father's actions are motivated not by love for his children, but by his own self-interest. Father advised the court that even though he would disagree with it, he would obey a court order to cease exposing them online. Okay, so he agreed to it. So why still take away custody? The court finds that assertion to lack credibility. Why? Father has exploited the children for profit while simultaneously depriving them of the loving care of their mother. Father's reputation has to some extent been damaged by his online activities featuring his children. The Hurt Twins opposition with 10,000 members speaks to that. So it looks like there was an internet group that was against his channel. Despite father's efforts to smear her, mother's reputation appears to be good. Both parties have requested custody of the children and the court finds their request to be sincere. The court is persuaded, however, the father's request for custody is motivated by his desire to profit from the children. I do not understand this last sentence. If the father has agreed to not post the children anymore, but instead the court just finds that his assertion to cease exposing them online to lack credibility.
The primary concern for the judge, those videos of the children online. Some show the children engaged in typical play. Others, described in court, show the children in sensitive situations like medical appointments. In addition to generating thousands of views, those videos also generated considerable income from subscriptions, ad sales, and donations for Hurt.
Growing up, my uncles, my mom and aunt will tell you, like, we always recorded. It was just something we did when we had, cookouts, family functions. We all sat around, like, later on after the event, and we would watch on the big box TV.
I want to make a movie, some hot chocolate.
So when I became a dad, I wanted to do the same thing. I started recording it, and I was just putting it online for our family. When the pandemic started, we went viral, and literally the next day I lost my job.
During the hearing, Judge Purpura asked Hurt if he thought those public videos compromised the children's safety. We asked Hurt that same question. He told us this.
Those memories that I was putting online became profitable. So it was nothing different. Like, I'm just sharing our memories with the world.
Hurt explained those memories have allowed him to care for the boys, providing a home and an education in an elite private school.
We spread love and joy all around the world. It's just a day in our life. We may go outside for a walk and I record 5 or 10 minutes, and I've learned how to take those emotional moments and show the world how children can solve their problems.
The twins' mother declined our request for an interview, but said in a statement she had no comment and asked for privacy for herself and her boys. But the boys' mother was clear in a counter complaint she filed that the children were being exploited by Hurt in an attempt to raise money for himself and gain internet fame.
Is it possible that things may have gone too far?
No, I don't think anything went too far. This is the same way you have child actors and stuff like that. And the thing is, we're not even acting. Like, this is just our life.
Judge Purpura ordered Hurt to remove all video content of the children from online. Accounts managed by Hurt show videos of the boys were removed. Since the judge's order, Hurt reached out to his followers for help, posting videos like this.
There are more dads just like me that love their children and would love to show up for their children.
There's a Change.org petition demanding Hurt's custody be reinstated. It has more than 7,000 signatures. Hurt even teamed up with Dr. Bernard Jennings, who was instrumental in advocating for the passage of Florida's Good Dad Act. The law gives unwed fathers more rights in the health, education, or religious decisions of their children without a court order. Jennings wants to see it passed nationwide.
There are good dads out there that are suffering silently because they don't have time with their children. There are children that are suffering. There is statistical analysis that will show you that children that have time with both parents fare better.
As for Hurt, he's hoping an appeal will grant him more time with his children. In the meantime, he continues to post videos online, but without the boys.
I'm trying everything I can. I have to use our platforms. I have to speak out. I have to tell the injustices that's going on. I have to tell about them ruining families.
Involving children in a business while both parents don't agree to the direction of the children, I'm telling you right now, especially if it's over a custody battle, is a slippery damn slope. And to utilize the example of child actors, but shit, how many child actors have we seen in and out of prison, addicted to drugs, sexual deviance, because they were exposed to a component of the industry that rotted their brain? And I can tell you guys, from my perspective of doing media, this shit is not normal. And the brains of children are just not set up for it to receive critique and or criticism while they're forming. At the same time, though, to have his children removed from custody after agreeing to the court order, to me, is mind-boggling. I'm cool with making him take down videos if the other parent doesn't agree. But removing custody, unless within the videos there's documentation of abuse or neglect or bad things, just bad, horrible things that the father is doing, how can you honestly conclude that he does not deserve at least partial custody?
If I hit the both of you, that means hi.
Hello.
If I hit 2 times, it means I love you.
I love you more.
That means I love you as much as everything in the world.
No, I love you more than everything in the world.
But not God. But not God.
Good job. God loves us best, right?
Yeah, God loves us.
Yes. I have to use our platforms. I have to speak out. I have to tell the injustices that's going on. I have to tell about them ruining families.
This also had me thinking about the Kanye West situation from a couple of years ago, how he didn't want his daughters up on social media, but Kim Kardashian allowed them to be all over social media. Never would there be a court in existence to remove custody from a Kim Kardashian or women in general. There would never be a court in existence to remove custody from Kim Kardashian because she is profiting from their daughter's image online. Now, while I understand there's three sides to every story, I found a video here where the father is further explaining everything from his side of the story.
What would happen next? Same thing again. Nothing was done. I just don't understand what's going on in the court systems. After that, I went and I got a guardian ad litem. I was advised by that attorney at that time. And the woman came to our home and she saw I had a Range Rover. And she's like, how did you get this? I said, well, there was a GoFundMe, for my vehicle being stolen. And she automatically said I was exploiting my children. Now, I was blessed. I've always been blessed. I've done well for myself. And even before the Range Rover, and that was like a 2015, but before then I had a way more expensive car when I was working and everything else. So basically,
okay, was this in year 2021 and it was a 2015 Range Rover? Because if it was a brand new Range Rover, that does look a little bit odd coming from a GoFundMe. I will say that.
I cut back because it wasn't no longer about me, it was about my children. So I wanted to get a vehicle that, I could afford. After then, she made me do.
Also, too, I also think how the funds are utilized, right? Like if the father was setting up like a 529, some type of college fund, right? In the previous video, he was talking about how they're at an elite private school, right? So if the money generated is being greatly, right, utilized into the betterment of the children or the situation around them, then I think that it makes a lot more sense. Then the judge's claims of exploitation are lessened.
Temporary 50-50 custody. The children's school, my son's school is telling me that the children are coming to school hungry when they're with their mother. They're wearing the same school clothes for 3 to 4 days. And I'm going to the guardian ad litem and I'm telling her everything that's going on. And she's just ignoring it. She's saying I'm making it up. My sons then start coming home saying, Daddy, the man is watching them while they sleep. Daddy, we're seeing Mom be abused. And I'm relaying this again to the guardian ad litem, and she tells me I'm making it up. So one day my sons come home and they're like, Daddy, Mommy was hurt really bad by, the boyfriend. Something told me just to case search him, and I saw that he was locked up. I didn't know why he was incarcerated. Well, no, I knew it was assault, but I didn't know who the assault was against. So then I called the guardian ad litem, and she called the mother, and the mother told it was just an argument, and a neighbor called the police. Well, she's told me that the children still had to go to the home, and for weeks, like I was terrified. Like I knew this guy.
This is so crazy, right? If it was flipped, the kids would have been out the house that next damn day. And the way this guy's talking, chances are that the cops have never been at his establishment because of a domestic situation with a new significant other.
Something was wrong with him. Like he's already abused my son. He hit my son in the face. And now my sons are having to go there. And then on top of it, now they're seeing their mother be abused. It's just been so much. From that point on, I found I got the restraining. I got the police report, and the police report said that he really abused the mother. It went really into detail where he broke furniture with her head. The guardian ad litem that's in the police report. Yes, it's in the police report. And the guardian ad litem tells me that there's nothing that she can do because they're no longer together. Even in the police report, it says that the older son was the one who broke the altercation up. I would have thought, Give us the ages of my sons are 6. I have twin boys, and her oldest son is 13, and she has a younger son that's 3. So even after this, the guardian ad litem still allowed my children to go there. The mother ends up moving with another boyfriend. From there, my sons contact me when I picked them up from school. They tell me that the boyfriend had left them alone. Mom went to work and left them with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend left them in the house alone. They said it was daytime when he left. It was nighttime when he came back. They said they went outside screaming for help. So I contacted the guardian ad litem again, and she said I was making it up. I just don't understand how you can go to the system for help and the system basically hurts you. Instead, this custody battle has bankrupted me. I've went through 4 attorneys. The last attorney was great, but I mean, who has $10,000 to $15,000 to keep spending monthly? When I went to court, they showed our videos. Our videos are all positive, and it didn't even start on purpose. Like, I was just recording my sons. My uncles used to record us at birthday parties, cookouts, things like that. And I did the same with my sons on social media. And it was just for our family to see. And it blew up during the pandemic. So, but they use these positive videos of me showing my son spreading love and joy, showing a father, and especially a black father in Baltimore, just showing something different, breaking stereotypes, just showing how my children just talk to each other and love each other. And I've given my sons the best. I mean, I was doing well for myself before social media, and I believe anything that you do, you should put your all into it. And I put my all into this once we became monetized. And it's not like we recorded every day. We may have had 10 minutes of videos a week, like it was maybe going for a walk or something like that, or my sons getting into an argument and talking it out, and loving each other. And at the end of the video, they were always hugging, holding hands, and playing. I just don't understand how something like this could happen to a father like me. During the trial, I was asked, why do I want my sons to go to the school that they go to? It's a very great school. It's an elite school. It's where politicians and celebrity children go. Why would I want my children to go to a school like that? When they found out where we lived, it's an historic area and it's a plantation across the street. So black people were not supposed to be allowed in this area. And I was asked by the judge, do my neighbors like me? I mean, this whole case has been ridiculous. I've been given supervised visitation, and now even through supervised visitations, like I started taking classes with Hope in Darkness. It's the organization that helps with children are being alienated. And I see the changes in my children, like acting out, like from dropping things, from hitting. And the only thing I can do is hug them and tell them that I love them, and it's going to be okay, and God got you. They constantly talk about not eating, to the point where last week, the caseworker called TPS on the mother, and somehow the guardian ad litem has gotten a hold of it, and there hasn't been an investigation. I mean, first they were saying that I was saying the lies, and now it's coming from actually a caseworker inside the visitation center, and she's made that disappear. The mother's boyfriend that she's with currently has now kicked her out of the home, so now my children are practically homeless.
What?
I just don't understand how the system could do this to a father. And sadly, I'm not the only one. This is going on all over, and it's like it's time for us to speak up and talk about what's going on in these family courts.
Let me remind everyone, you're in Maryland, correct?
Yes.
And obviously these types of laws are state to state, but at the end of this is a judge. It is a judge.
Yes.
A judge who deems your online profile to be exploitive of your children. And I've seen it personally. It was nothing but positivity.
Thank you.
Even those moments where there was conflict, you always intentionally provided
Yes.
remedy, solution. And to me, what you're doing is truly providing an example for the fathers to follow. I thought it was brilliant and also wholesome.
Thank you.
To say that that's exploitation, dear brother, was really insane to me.
Right.
Especially in the era of reality TV. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Because there are a lot of less wholesome.
He's talking to a lawyer right now. And the thing is that I agree with the lawyer. To say exploitation after looking at even some of the videos that I found, and it probably can be sprinkled throughout this video as well, it doesn't feel like exploitation to me. I understand the one about, filming them while they're in a medical, whatever, HMO violations, what have you. But to call it exploitation, I think is a bit rough unless there is documented he is an evil person. He is, working them beyond their means, right? He's mean to them online. He's abusing them behind scene. There's any documentation, any police reports, anything to show that the love that he's demonstrating on those videos is markedly different than what the children are saying about him, right? Or is markedly different than what a police report, a neighbor says about him.
I got you, Daddy got you, God got you. I just hope I don't get those tubes in my ears. What are tubes? Because the floor down my ears. How? Sunset out. Sure, it's good.
Shows that involve children, that intentionally, those producers do intentionally exploit children. They exploit argument. They exploit conflict. You don't do any of that.
Right.
You got popular during COVID because you decided to highlight a positive relationship between a black father and his twin children. So
Right.
now, as you move through the court system, at this point, do you have an attorney representing your interest? I know the guardian ad litem. I had a friend that went through that. She had a horrible experience as well, and she was a mother with the guardian ad litem. The person that read the material, it was just ridiculous. But
Yeah.
do you have somebody representing you?
No, I don't, and that's the issue. Like this is bankrupt me. I had to take everything down. I can't afford it. They taken everything from me, from my children to my income, everything. So
Let me ask you this, brother. Let me ask you. Are you able to still do videos, or did they order that to be taken offline?
yeah, they give me a restraining order. I can still do videos myself, and that's what I have been doing. I'm talking about the situation, but I'm gonna get in trouble for that because I'm not supposed to do any social media. I'm not supposed to talk about this situation at all. They've taken away my First Amendment right, my 14th Amendment right, and my Fourth Amendment right. So now I'm to the point where, like I said, I'm working with this corporation called, organization called Hope in Darkness, where I'm trying to file a federal lawsuit where I can get the judge and the guardian ad litem off of this case because it's unjust and I can't afford it.
Cases like this continue to highlight the issues that fathers face, that men face within the family court system. And it is such a damn shame to watch this man become bankrupt, lose his ability to properly fight for his children over this entire mess. From going to the best private schools in the area to, according to his admission, he is alleging the kids have been homeless, living with the mother. But it just saddens me to see the amount of pain and hurt within his eyes. I wanted to see what the people who have watched his channel are saying about this situation. And let's go through just a quick couple. I never once felt like he was exploiting his children. I saw him as a purely positive role model in his care, teaching and loving his family. How can anyone accuse him of exploitation? Seriously shows errors in their own thinking. I am so sorry for what you're going through. I miss seeing you and the boys. You were a bright spot in my days. I pray for the positive resolution for you and your family. The system is full of it. All I've seen has been all positive situations. Never did he abuse or mistreat the boys. Sad. Good dad have to deal with bitter baby moms. Shaking my head. Prayer for a positive ending. Keep your faith. God got you. Amen. We stand with you, Mr. Hurt, and we are praying for you and your boys. Your videos with your boys were the most heartwarming, positive messages I have seen in years. I truly miss those videos that The love that was shown was what everyone needs to see more of. I wish you and the boys the best of everything. Love always wins, and I truly believe you will come out victorious. God bless. This entire situation is simply ridiculous to me, but again, further demonstrates the uphill battle that many men have to deal with in the family court system. Fathers are way more than just financial providers to children. We know that. The studies know that. So to see situations like this unfold is truly sad, but they need support to tip the scales in the fight against them. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.